George here, N3VQW. Today I will be reviewing the TYT 350 handheld radio. This is an inexpensive Chinese radio that you can get at your local amateur radio store. I picked this up at R&L in Hamilton, Ohio. Comes with a very nice box. So we get in here. Now we got the receipt from R&L. Comes with a manual which is written in okay English. It has definitely been translated from Chinese. There are some pretty funny translation errors in the manual, but it is still pretty understandable. Comes with a programming cable, and my guess is this has the prolific chipset. Let's see what else we got. Well, it comes with two antennas. One of them is a dual band antenna for 144 and 440, and the other one is a 220 antenna. So the charger is wrapped up pretty good. We'll just take that out. And set it aside. I'm kind of curious if this will also charge an MD380. We'll find out. I have an MD380 charger. And of course, we have a AC adapter for the charger unit. You know, you've seen one, you've seen them all. Here is a battery. It is a 7.4 volt. This is a 1600 milliamp hour battery. So set that aside. We get the belt clip and the radio itself. So here's the radio unit itself. The belt clip clips onto the battery. I really don't like that because if you change the battery out, you no longer have a belt clip. So you have to purchase additional belt clips to install on any additional batteries you might have. Let's go ahead and install the belt clip. What kind of hardware is this? Looks like Phillips. So let me get myself a Phillips screwdriver here on my iFixit professional tool set here. Let me screw on my screwdriver first here. Alright. So at an angle, I'm going to put this on. And then just screw it in a little bit. And then I can turn the belt clip on, and then the hole for the other screw will line up. So there's a little trick to this. And then I can tighten the belt clip. And install the battery on the radio. And let's go ahead and put one of the antennas on. Now, obviously, you can use the proper antenna for 220 if you're just receiving, but if you're transmitting, you would want to use the proper antenna, else you could damage the radio. The SWR would be not proper. Remove this little protective cover from the screen, and let's just turn the radio on for the first time. And there's what it looks like when it's powered on. The screen's kind of bright, so I seriously doubt you can see the numbers on there. This radio has 3 bands on display, band A, B, and C. To switch between the bands, you hit the band button. You can tell which band you're on by the arrow to the left of the frequency. You can tell if the band is on memory or channel mode or in VFO mode by the channel number on the right of the frequency. To get out of channel mode, hit the VM button, and then you're now in frequency mode, and you can type in the frequency that you wish to use. That's the output frequency of a local repeater. There are two side buttons. These side buttons can be programmed using the programming software. And of course, you got the PTT. You have a knob and the volume. The knob performs the same functions as the arrow keys. So you can go through options using arrow keys or by turning the knob. Alright, so 146.67 is the local Okayan repeater. So I need to set up the PL, offset, and direction, in the opposite direction. To do that, I will enter menu. I'm just going to keep the squelch the way it is. Transmit power, I don't really need it to be high right now. To change the menu setting, go to the menu item that you want by using the arrow keys to navigate, or you can use the knob, so the knob will also navigate. When you're at the setting you want to change, just hit enter, then use the arrow keys or the knobs to change the value, and hit menu to save. You could tell you're editing the value by the arrow key on the line of the value. See the arrow key there? To abort, just hit exit. Okay, so let's go to, let's turn off this annoying beep. I don't like the beep. So enter, change the beep to off, menu, and the beep will no longer be a problem. ABR, by the way, is the auto backlight. I have it off right now because with it on, it's kind of hard to record what's on the screen. Okay. TDR. When TDR is on, the radio will scan all three of the bands on the screen. It's useful if you just want to listen to all three of the frequencies, but if you're like checking into a net or you're having a conversation, it can be annoying because you check into the net and then on another band someone says something and you're listening to that person instead of the net controller getting back to you or the person you're talking to getting back to you. So I turn that on and off as I need it. Okay, transmit CDC. This is a little different than the other menu items. So enter the PL tone of 123. I hit enter to start editing, but you can't do anything. I could type 123, but I can't type 123 hertz. So what gives? Well, I need to put this in like hertz mode. I don't know what you call it, but so if I do this, now I can go to 123 hertz. You can do that by using the arrow keys, turning the knob, or just typing the 123.0. And then I hit menu to save. You need to set the offset direction. Okay, so enter. In this case, it's going to be negative, so menu. And then this is difference, but that's just a offset by. So I'm going to hit enter, and since this is 2 meters, I'm going to type 0, 0, 6, 0, and then save that.
Repeater PL123.
Oh, this grammar right here, that's probably not a legal feature to use on amateur radio because you're not allowed to scramble or encrypt your traffic. Alright, we should have everything programmed for the repeater. Let's test this out. N3 VQW test. And it worked. I got into the repeater. Other things, you can lock the keypad by going to menu and pound, and you'll see that there is a lock icon. That prevents you from using the keys, but it doesn't lock out this knob, so you can still turn the knob and move around. Unlock the keypad here because we need it. To save what you programmed into a memory channel, hold down the menu button, until the number flashes. Turn the knob or use the arrow keys to select the number that you wish to save and hit enter. And now if I go back into channel mode, location 1 is now 146.67. The repeater settings, and you notice that it shows it on all 3 bands because all 3 bands are set to channel 1. Alright, now if you should need to reset your radio, the procedure for that is you hold down the PTT menu and you turn the radio on. Let me let the camera focus here. It says reset VFO. I'll just use the arrow key till you get to reset all, and then hit menu to confirm. After a few seconds, the radio will reboot. Alright, we're going to review the programming software that comes with the radio. The current version on the website, as the time of the recording of this video, and the version that's on the included CD is version 1.09. You'll notice everything is in gibberish. This is the next button. You can sort of tell because of the little greater than sign there. So just keep clicking the button that has the greater than sign until the application is installed. The program loads up in Chinese. You can change it to English. To do that, click the third menu from the left and then choose the bottom option. Then in this drop down you can select English and then click the left button. And now the application is in English. The included cable is a Prolifix chipset cable, but I have not had any issues with this cable. You insert the cable into the microphone and speaker jack on the right side of the radio. And then turn the power on. This button here showing the radio going to the computer is to read, or you can click the read from radio menu option. Click on OK, and then it will communicate from the radio. That is pretty cool. At the time of this recording, chirp programming software does not support the TH-350, so you're pretty much stuck with the TH-350 software from TYT. It doesn't have the fancy abilities where you can import from radio reference or anything like that, but you can manually program. 146.67, 123 hertz. Transmit frequency will be 146.07. Power high, backlight off, wide. Include that in the scan. Reversal frequency. I don't want to reverse the frequency. PTT ID we don't need. We don't want to use the commander, and we don't want to use the scrambler. Optional features allows you to program some of the menu options on the radio, plus some additional features you can't program directly on the radio. For example, the functionality of the side keys. I changed side key 1 short for monitor and side key 2 short for scan. Another thing is you can have a display message. I have it set to battery voltage, but you can have it show you call sign and then just change the power to power on name. The problem is it only shows for a split second, so you really don't see it. Battery voltage appears to show a little bit longer. Let's go ahead and program the radio and choose the option to write to radio. Alright, my radio just rebooted. Go into memory mode here. Memory channel 1 is 146.67. Let's see if it works. And 3, VQW test. And that appeared to work correctly. Memory channel 2 is 147.24. And 3, VQW test. Alright, let's see. Short key 1 is monitor, and it is scanning the memory channels with short key 2. Alright, so programming this radio using the software was successful. In conclusion, I like this radio and do recommend it. There are a few minor issues though. One thing is, like many of the Chinese radio, belt clip is on the battery, which means if the radio were to become separate from the battery, it's going to fall and hit the ground. And also, if you were to swap batteries out, you won't have a belt clip anymore. Another minor issue is the keyboard lock does not lock the knob, so it's still possible to accidentally set yourself off a frequency if you have the keyboard lock on. If you're looking for an affordable Tri-band 220 capable radio, this is a good option. You can pick one of these up for about $85 from your local amateur radio store. This is N3VQW saying 73s and hope to hear you on the air.